Yeah. Anybody here? Yo, 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 yo. Copy. Anybody here?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's up? What's up?
Chilling.
Where everybody is?
They coming. They coming now.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody ping up. Share the room. Share the room. Ping up. Ping up.
Alfonso Settles. Welcome to Clubhouse. Let's go.
I
I'm
definitely
sharing it
had
right now.
everything lined up, so I'm not sure if y'all want Honey to lead or not, but I definitely had my questions lined up previously. If that makes any sense. I'm super excited. Where'd he go?
He's right here.
No, he just keep going in and out. He might be swiping out.
Alfonso, is you there?
No, I think he's swiping by
I
accident.
gave him my mind.
The app is glitching. It's glitching because it glitched when I first came in here.
It's an update, but his is isn't he new to Clubhouse? Yeah, he probably swiping.
Yeah.
He got 103
Unfortunately.
friends. He ain't that new.
Oh, okay.
I went to Adam when I went to Adam and said he had 103, so he ain't that
Oh,
new.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me pick up the room. Let's just start. Don't forget to tap that share button to your Twitter. If you use Facebook and your IG channels as well. See.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, welcome
Yeah, we
back.
can hear you. Welcome back.
Okay, yeah, I lost you. I was trying to get back. I had to go all the way out and come back.
Yeah, I seen the glitching. They brung you in and took you out. Brung you in and took you out.
Yeah,
All right.
I haven't been in here in a while too, so I had kind of forgot how to work it.
Hey, Miss Kimmy, welcome.
Okay, so all the mods, please ping in everybody you know. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Welcome to the stage, Alfonso. And whenever you're ready, honey.
Welcome to the room, Alma, Maria, Gifted, Ghost. What up? Kimmy, what up, Kimmy? Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Welcome. What's good? What's good? All
Well, hey everyone. This is Honey. This is Talk Your Shit podcast. I want to welcome the most amazing person right now in the world, the winning actor Alfonso. How are you, Alfonso? How you doing tonight?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good as
That's good.
usual.
That's good. You chilling out? You relaxing?
For the most part, I got some runs to make a little bit later tonight, but other than that, nope, just taking it easy.
Okay, so let me just jump right on in there. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, so how did you start off? I want to start with that. What's your story?
How I got into acting?
Yeah, how did you get into acting? Yeah.
Well, so I used to work for this company back in the day. This was like 2016, 15, and they were kind of like an agency, but they weren't. So I went in as an employee, and the service that they were selling to the public was free to employees with this entertainment company. So they got me, and when I jumped in the game, I got in right. like a year or two before physical comp cards faded out. So when I jumped in, you needed a comp card, you needed headshots, and I'm not talking digital. This was like physical stuff in an envelope. So they set everything up for me. Got me my first gig doing modeling. So I was doing runway shows, I was doing print ads, and then that transitioned into me doing my first film, which was Alvin and the Art of Love. So that was with the great John Savage. We had Cordon Bleu, High School Musical, and I just kind of got bit with the bug, and it just went from there. I spent a lot of time with Mr. Savage, and he dropped a lot of game on me for them 8 9 hours that we spent on set. And I just took a lot of what he applied and ran with it, and that was my start. I'm 40 some odd films in later, been doing this now for about
Wow.
7 years, and I just been blessed, man. Just real blessed.
Okay, okay, that's what's up. So let me rewind you for a second.
Hmm.
Before you got your start,
Hmm.
did you want to be an actor when you were a kid? Like what was going on as a child?
Well,
Like what made you even go that route?
well, as a in my youth, and anybody that knows me for real, like basketball was my thing. I thought I was going to the league, and I was really good. I played some of my pro basketball. That was some years ago before I put it down about 60 pounds ago when I was a lot slimmer. But I was playing ball, and that was just it. So where I come from, I'm from the inner city of Detroit, man. So the arts wasn't really readily available to us. Acting, modeling, singing, really none of that when I came out of high school, or even when I was in middle school, that was not available. You either was gonna hoop, you was gonna play football, you might get slide in if the school had a baseball team, and that was it. Other than that, you better be a straight A student because your chances of you going to school is gonna be slim. That was the way. Or you gonna go the street way, and I wasn't gonna go that route. That was never me. So growing up, man, it just was sports. But had the arts been available to me, like acting, for sure, I would have jumped in. But back then, all we knew was shit. You gotta move to LA to try to be an actor, or New York or Chicago. None of that was ready for us here in Detroit. So growing up, did
Okay.
I think about acting? Nope, it was sports. But if it had been available, I probably would have jumped in.
Okay, so at 15, 16, what like transitioned your mind into like, oh my God, I want to do acting?
It wasn't. It didn't even happen then. I didn't transition into acting until late in life, man. I think when I jumped in, I was about I don't want to give my age, but I'm gonna give it anyway. I think I was I think I jumped in. I was about 37 when I jumped
Okay.
in.
You still looking good. Don't trip.
Thank
You
you,
all right.
thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm good and seasoned now, but I
All
jumped in
right.
at about 36, 37, man, and it was a slow roll at first, like anything you do, but started getting better and got more exposure, and we rocking and rolling now.
Okay, okay. Well, so I want to open up the floor for any other mods that want to ask any questions. Anybody that's on the floor that want to ask questions, you can jump right in. But we're gonna keep rolling. Anything that you like to do that you have like hobbies and things like that that you do outside of acting
Yeah.
that you take part in.
Yeah, I'm family first. I'm very family oriented, man. So I like to do, family stuff, whether it be movies or we go out of town, go do something. I'm real homely like that. Um,
Okay.
I don't hoop no more, man. I get some shots up here and there when I can, but when I go in the gym now, it's mainly to work out. So, that's a hobby of mine, but it's something that I take real serious. I take my body serious because I tell people all the time, man, you get one body, take care of your body now, take care of you later. So, I try to eat clean. My diet for the last 7 years has been chicken, fish, turkey, and salad.
Okay.
I might cheat with some pepperonis on the pizza, but I ain't doing no steaks, no pork chops, no hamburgers. I do a turkey burger. But that's really it, though. And, being in
You
the
ain't eat no
gym,
pork. That's what you said, right?
no, for sure, I ain't
Okay.
doing no pork. No, that's
Okay.
that's poison. So,
Right. Mhm.
yeah, just being with the family, man, just being in the gym, taking care of myself. And then other than that, that's it. Believe it or not, I am a home body. I'm a Capricorn, and I,
Wow.
I like I like my solitude, and I ain't got no problem. If I ain't got nothing to do, I won't leave the house for 3 4 days if I don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when I get out, man, it be too much sometimes, and I'm like, nah, I'm ready to go to the crib.
Mm. So
What's
so
crazy is,
go ahead.
oh, I
Go
was just
ahead.
about to say,
You're
what's
okay.
crazy is like a lot of creatives are like that. Like people really be in the house. Like
Hmm.
we do not like going outside.
Yeah, I'd
Be in the
be in
house
the
working
crib.
on their craft. That's what it be. They be in the house focused on themselves, on their craft and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
At least that's what it should be. When is your birthday, man? You say you're a Capricorn. When is your birthday?
Yep. December 23rd.
Okay, okay, okay. My grandmother's birthday is the day after yours.
Oh, she Christmas Eve. Okay,
Yep.
that's what's up.
Yep. So before you went on this diet or whatever that you speak of, what was your favorite food to eat before you started eating the way you do now?
Um, favorite food, probably what it is now, pizza. But I just ate everything on the pizza. Now I just get, barbecue chicken pizza.
Hmm.
I get the flatbread. I get the healthy stuff now.
That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I like the good juicy hamburger too, and I like me a plate of ribs. I ain't gonna even lie. Like I kind of miss them ribs, but can't go against the diet.
I figured, stick with the grind, right? Stick with the grind.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, what is something that you had to do as an actor that you never imagined doing in life? Like
Something that
something that was amazing or something that was just like out of nowhere.
um I've done so many roles, man. I've been so blessed. I think the thing that I've done that I'm anxious to see is not out yet. I just wrapped a film about a month ago called Won't He Do It?
Mm.
And in this film my character is in the beginning, I guarantee y'all not gonna like him. I'm not even gonna say why. Y'all are not going to like this man. I know y'all usually see me, they don't never like, you're really not gonna like this character. But in the end, I get redemption, and I'm going to be able to flip the audience from hating me in the beginning to understanding and probably loving me in the end. But the thing I think is so dope about this particular role, there's a scene where I break down and start crying in the church. And it wasn't even written for me to cry. I just felt like that was what was needed for that particular scene. And I
Mm.
was able to do it and that's the first time that I've ever been able to cry on cue in front of not just my counterparts, but extras that we had in the audience to fill the church. And I did it every single time. And the very first time I did it, when I cried, I could feel the emotion from the crowd, and even some of them were crying. And I had crew members, guys holding the cameras and the mics coming over to me like, Al, I know this fake, man, but you got me feeling some type of way in here. So, I'm excited for that, man. It's called Won't He Do It? It probably won't drop till late spring or early summer of next year, but I think that's going to be a really dope film, and I'm looking forward to seeing it because it's me playing something that you haven't really seen yet from me.
Okay. Can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to it, bro.
Thank you.
Looking forward, man.
So I remember you did say something about plays. You ran plays. Like
Hmm.
what was that like? Like what's like one of your favorite things to do? Like what got you in that? Like
I'm gonna
I'm
tell you
curious.
the plays. First of all, let me say this:
Okay.
every actor has his preference, whether it's on stage or on camera. I'm gonna say now I prefer
Okay.
to be on camera, but the camera, excuse me, the stage keeps you sharp. Plays keep you sharp because see, when you're in front of that camera, I can know my lines, you can know your lines. If one of us fuck it up, all right, take two, and we're going right back at it. But when you're on that stage, you don't get a take. So not only do I gotta know my
Right.
line, but if Honey mess up her line,
Right.
I gotta be able to bring Honey back without the audience knowing, because they don't know anyway.
Right.
You feel me? And
Mhm.
as a professional, I have to be able to be so we got to be so in tune with one another that I can look at you and tell, shit, she done forgot her line. So I got to be able to bring you back without the audience knowing that you didn't blank for a second, and it could just be me saying one or two words. So it could be something like your next line was supposed to be, yeah, we're gonna go to the store and get some ice cream, but I'm not sure what kind to get. That's your line. And you like, yeah, we supposed to and I can tell from your expression of how you looking at me, oh shit, she done blank, she forgot.
Right.
So I'm looking at you. I might give you a couple seconds and then I might say, so you told me about you going to get some ice cream, right? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we supposed to go to the store and get some ice. That's the line. So we improvised it and played it off and it worked. Audience didn't know, but
Mhm.
we know. But
Right.
that's how come everybody, when you're doing a play, everybody got to be on point, because if you don't, it's gonna be bad. It's
Okay.
gonna be bad.
So
So,
you So I do have a question for you because now that you said that, one of the things like I always thought about being an actress, right? But
hmm
one of the things that I have an issue with is remembering the lines and then people looking at me or whatever.
hmm
So how do you get into the character and kind of like zone out a little bit and kind of like not pay attention to that you're being watched? Because I know you've been in this for a long time, but
hmm
that's still a thing, though. Especially if you're one of those people that's like introverted and extroverted at the same time. So there's still a
hmm
little bit of like, man, there's people watching me. How do you combat those type of feelings?
so for me, anytime you've ever seen me play a character in the film, I don't care what it is, whatever's going on in that scene, it's really real for me.
Okay.
So if you've seen me, I don't know, I'm just throwing. If you see me and he played me, the way I acted in that movie, that was a real thing for me. I spent months preparing for that. I knew that I had to be the worst person invented. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I knew what the character needed, and he was a real person. So that moment was real for me. So when I get on camera, we didn't rehearsed. Everybody knows what we doing. Everybody knows this is all acting. So the things that I do and say to you, it's not real. You know it's not real.
Right.
So the thing is to make that character yours and bring it to life,
Okay.
and just make it your own. And the beauty about acting is you can pretend to be somebody else. I love pretending to be the
That's what I like
biggest
about it.
narcissistic asshole that existed. But if you know Alfonso for real, I'm cool as the other side of the pillow. I ain't cut like my character at all. But in this movie, I'm gonna make you feel some type of way. And I know that if I can make my counterparts that I'm sharing scenes with feel a way, then I know the audience gonna feel it. So I won there. So you just have to really understand that this is acting, and if this is what you would do in this situation in real life, then this is what you should do on camera. And we're not worrying about who's watching, or who's going to feel away, because you want them to, because you don't want to do something that was supposed to be fantastic and the audience walk away feeling like, yeah, all right, whatever, okay. That's not the reaction you want. You want people to feel away whenever you're doing whatever it is you're doing. So if you're going to be a cheater, be the worst kind of ain't shit cheater you could be. If you're gonna be a proud, happy father and husband, then be that. Whatever it is, just let go of the inhibitions and the introvertness, because you're becoming somebody else. And if people can't accept that, then they don't need to watch it.
No, that's what's up. I
hmm
appreciate that response because I think that applies to a lot of different things in life. So
hmm
yeah,
hmm
I like that. Um, Yeah, that's interesting because it can be difficult. Like being on camera or being in front of, especially like you said, if you're live, there's there's always a possibility like, okay, now you're messing up in front of a whole bunch of people and it's like people watching. But in a
hmm
movie, you take five. You know what I'm saying? Like cut
Exactly. Until
and
we get
start
it
over
right.
again.
And
Yeah,
then they can splice together the best scenes, and even if you
right.
don't get it right. So
But
yeah. But
on
on
stage, you
stage,
can't do that.
can't do that. It's one take Jakes out here.
That's what's up.
hmm
Anybody else? I want to open up the floor right quick. Anybody else have any questions that they would like to ask or any comments from what's been said so far?
Yeah, so I have some questions. Okay,
hmm
so Alfonso, how you doing so far?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good, good. So I'm gonna go to like what everybody wants to know. What
hmm
about the sex scenes? Like,
Yeah, I
ooh,
seen that movie too.
Oh man, I,
um,
I get it every interview. I'm used to it. What about them?
um, how do you feel about them? And like, how do you get into character when you have to like play somebody that's, you know, and what about even like the female counterpart? Like, if if you're not attracted to them, if you're attracted to them,
So
tell us
here,
juicy details.
so here's the thing. Um, um, so number one, whether I'm attracted to them or not doesn't exist for me, because I'm such a professional, and I say that humbly. my attraction to you personally doesn't matter because it's not real. So whether I feel you are attractive or not, we have a scene to get. So that's number one. That's why I never feel any type of way. We gonna do what we gotta do, and we're gonna get the best scene, and we're gonna keep it moving. That's number one. Number two, when doing a sex scene, um, so I'll give you a story. So pretty sure y'all saw He Played Me, the first one, and you saw the infamous threesome scene with the red light in the background. Everybody,
Yeah.
going crazy off of that. And prior to me doing He Played Me, my first sex scene was in a film called Deceitful Passions. And surprisingly, it was with the same character. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shelby, who played Yasmin, and He Played Me. Her and I starred together in the film called Deceitful Passions. And that was the first time that I met Shelby. We filmed the first day, and then the next day it was a sex scene. Just like, wow. So, but in He Played Me, we were running it back, but obviously there was a second girl involved, which now makes this a threesome. Um, I was very nervous shooting that scene because prior to that, all the scenes that I did in the past was what we call implied nudity, which means I got my shirt off and I'm under the covers. She might be topless, but under the covers, she got on her panties. Under the covers, I got on some shorts or some boxers. But to the audience, we getting it in and we naked. We going full throttle, but it's not really that. But and He Played Me was the very first time that I was totally nude. The only thing I had covering me was one of the stripper socks that the strippers wear when they dancing and doing all that. And I had to go and find that from one of my homeboys that used to dance. Like real story, real shit. I'm not making this up. So, and that was an uncomfortable conversation. But I'm standing there, and they called me about a couple of weeks before, director. He says, yeah, now talk to the ladies already, but I'm like, damn, I need to talk to Fonz too because he in this scene. Just let him know. I said, this is gonna be, you guys gonna be nude. So when he said it, I'm like, yeah, it's implied nudity. He like, nah, you're gonna be full on nudity. I'm like, you serious? He like, yeah, dead ass. I'm like, wow, I need to process that, bro. Like this, I ain't never had to get all the way naked, but it was because of the scene and the way they were trying to get it. He was like, yeah, y'all, you guys got to be all the way. So, and that scene, what you see is what you saw, and it was like that. And we got the scene and we got the angles, but going in, man, I was nervous. I was nervous. Like I'm a man. I'm confident in myself, but standing there on a closed set. So all in all, outside of the actors, it probably was like maybe four other people that were present that needed to be there, and then that was it because it was a closed set. And it was like, wow, we got what we needed to get, and then that was that. But going in preparing for that, I was highly uncomfortable. But it worked because people still talk about that scene to this day. So can I do them? Yeah. Will I do them? Yeah. Am I turned on by it? No, because again, it's just work for me. Once they say cut, that's it. I don't feel no type of way. I ain't replaying nothing because we on to the next. And it's really not a sexy thing. You got cameras in your face. You got a boom mic in your face. It's not really what it looks like. Once you guys see it, it looks awesome. But the whole process, not so much.
So I have a follow-up question.
Hmm.
Um, is there an actor or an actress, sorry, that
Hmm.
you would want to like get intimate with in a love scene? Is there one that you have wanted to like
No, no.
no?
No, believe it or not, even my counterparts that you have seen me sexually intimate with on camera, in real life, they like sisters. I know that sounds weird, but we cool. Like it ain't none of that. First of all, I'm in a relationship, but even if I wasn't, I wouldn't shit where I eat. You know, Acting makes the world very, very small. So you have to really be careful. So again, I'm in a relationship, but even if I was a single man, I wouldn't entertain that because when I'm working, and that's it. Um, are there people that I would like to work with? Yeah. In a sexual light, I mean, no, it's not. But if it comes about, then again, we're gonna be professionals, we're gonna be adults, we're gonna come in, we're gonna get the job done, we're gonna keep it moving. That's it.
So it seems like you're pretty good at separating the two.
Yeah, I
That's
am, and you have to be. You have to be.
yeah,
Like you gotta let who you are go and be who you're supposed to be in that role.
right. Right. Yeah, yeah, because that could be that. Yeah, that, I would say those type of roles can be very difficult. Like if you in a relationship,
Hmm.
like not being able to separate the two, or the person
Hmm.
that you with not understanding that this is just a role, like this is not me. Actively like, oh yeah, I'm into this person. It's a role. So how do you combat that? As far as because you just said you was in a relationship, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so how like if you was to get a scene now like that or a movie where you playing multiple scenes, how would you deal with that in your relationship?
Oh, I
Cuz
mean,
that
well,
can be difficult.
I have, and she's been very understanding. Like when I did, he played me. We were together, and the thing is, when we do the scenes, I tell them beforehand, hey, listen, I want this to have some type of class to it or some type of sensuality. I don't want to just be uh, pornographic or very raunchy, so to speak. And let's try to shoot it that way, but at the same time, still getting what you want to get, but staying within the confines of my comfortability at the same time. Um, luckily, I've been doing this long enough and kind of established myself to where I can go to a director and producer and say that, and it can work in my favor. But as far as my mate, she's very understanding. When the scene is done, I say, hey, can I see the scene when it's ready? They'll send me a rough edit, just so I can see what it looks like, and that way, whatever she feels, my mate, she can get it out of her system right then and there. And then by the time the movie premieres and comes out, you know, she's over it. And the 10 million questions that she gets behind it, don't really bother her because she's already seen it a million times or enough to be okay with it.
That's what's up. That,
Yeah.
that that's a good way to yeah. That's what's up cuz that can be very hard.
Hmm.
Um
Hmm.
now that we mentioned that like things like that in the industry, what are some of the things that you faced that you felt like was just very, I would say, strange or difficult, maybe challenging to handle? Like what does that look like in the industry? Because I know you hear all the stuff that's coming out about the different stars and whatnot and all that. What are some of the things that you've
You
dealt with?
mean be a little bit more specific in what you mean by that, so I can
Uh,
make sure I answer this the correct way.
okay. I'm trying to make
Wait,
sure
I
I
got a
ask
question.
you the right
Do
way.
you
Um,
and wait, I got a question, and you don't have to say any names because I don't want you to mess yourself up. But do you see the weirdness in the producers in Hollywood and the directors? Like, do you pick up on that sometimes?
For sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
okay, here is the question. Thank you for that, Kelly. So here's the question.
Hmm.
With the issues that's coming out, like that came out with P Diddy and all them different things
Hmm.
going to the certain parties.
Hmm.
How have you steered clear of that? Like, how have you dealt with those challenges? Because I know that y'all like have to go certain places and do certain things for marketing and whatnot.
Hmm.
How have you maneuvered yourself around that? Or
I mean, again, um, we all humans, but at the same time, you have to be professional.
right.
And you know, a lot of people try to jump into this industry for what they see. They want the fame, the notoriety, the money, uh, all the things that come along with it. But I'll tell you, and I tell people all the time, if you're in it for that, you're not going to make it. And if you do make it, you will not last long. Because for me, I do the love of the craft for me comes from the heart. See, I did this at a time when Tubi wasn't even popping yet. It was Amazon Prime. And then when Tubi did start popping right after the pandemic or right during the pandemic, because we was all forced to be home, you know, they was laughing at Tubi and they was laughing, but then those giggles and laughter started to turn into, I think I could be in a Tubi movie now. Now you look up and you got people saying that they're actors that you never even seen like since when, bro, or since like when you want that? Oh, okay. See, it's kind of like a fad thing. Um, but to answer the original question, staying true to myself, like I'm about the craft. So I'm gonna go do what I need to do and then I'm gonna get out. If there's a party, I probably won't go. If I do go, I won't be there long. If I do go, maybe I might bring my mate with me. If I go solo dolo, I might just get some, be in there, kick it up, dap it up, rap with a couple people that I rock with, and then I'm gone. I ain't got to see it to the end. I'm not gonna be hanging outside trying to park a lot pimp. Too old for that. I'm just gonna go, try to network, build some relationships if I don't have them, and then I'm out of there. That's it. And that's just how I've always been. That's how I always think. And I think if you stay true to that, then that will help you to steer clear of some of the bullshit that you can run into.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. You almost have to like be very strategic in how
Hmm.
you move when you get into that type of industry.
Facts.
I think that's like that with a lot of different professions and stuff like that. You have to act a certain way because if you don't, there's always a chance that someone can scrutinize whatever you're trying to do before you even get started
This
or
is true.
mess up what you're doing even in the midst of doing it. So
Very true.
yeah, I agree with that. And it's just been a lot with the all the stories coming out now with different actors and actresses and stuff like that. So that's why I was curious about that.
Yeah, you
Um
gotta you gotta really be careful, man. People, will try to take advantage of you from a lot of different angles, if you don't see it coming.
What? In Hollywood? Never.
who said that? Okay, so I'm gonna open the floor back up again, and I do have another question
Okay.
after I'm gonna let somebody else jump in right quick. Anybody have any comments, any
Yeah, it's me,
questions?
Josiah. It's me,
Go ahead,
Josiah.
Josiah.
Alfonso. My question was, for most of these movies, do you audition and do you like the audition? Like, cause if I seen you in two movies, I would think the producer would seen you in movies and you wouldn't have to audition for certain movies. So my question is, do you like the audition and is most of the movies that you did you have to audition or not?
Yeah. So, do I like the audition? Yes, I do. Um, I think it's good to get in front of people, especially some of them may not be familiar with my work. So I think it's good to get in front of people and let them feel the energy. Like I prefer to audition in person. I don't like to do self video submissions, honestly. I know since COVID, that's kind of really been the thing. And I don't like that. I feel that video submissions, they can't really feel my presence. They can't feel me through a video. But in person, you can feel and see and just get a different range of me. So do I like to audition? Yes. Have I had to audition for roles? Yes and no. Earlier in my career, I was always auditioning. I hadn't had a name, didn't get a name or a face yet. So yeah, I was always standing up and auditioning, and that was cool. Lately, I'll say probably in the last year, as far as indie films are concerned, I probably auditioned twice in the last couple of years. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I just
me
see that you did
auditioning,
that.
for Hollywood stuff, yeah, all the time. But the indie film stuff, I probably haven't auditioned probably like twice in the last couple of years.
Oh wow! And another question is, can you explain how you got the role when he played me and and two? You know what I mean? Like how that came about, like from the beginning. Did you see the script or somebody told you to go down there and audition? And
Woo! That is a very long story. Y'all got time?
yes, sir.
Of
All right.
course we do.
How did I get the role and he played me? Wow. So let's just all right, so let me back up. Um, so my mate that I'm with now was actually friends with the producer of He Played Me. Um, he Played Me, I don't know if you guys are aware, He Played Me was a book first. Okay. So He Played Me had probably been out in the book world maybe a couple of years, I want to say, or a year or so. And my mate reads books a lot. And she was friends with Lisa because they used to work together years ago. And she says to me, "Hey, my homegirl got a book that she wrote called He Played Me. And it's really dope. Like I read it and I love it." And she was like, "I could see you playing Jai, the main character." So at that time, and let's take it back, this is 2019. Yes, 2019. This is right before the pandemic. And I just took it with a grain of salt, like, oh yeah, for real, okay, yeah, that's what's up, whatever. Like I didn't really put a whole lot of stock behind it. I just was like, all right, whatever. So she's like, I'm gonna call Lisa, and I'm gonna put the idea out there, put the idea in her head, and just see what she say. I'm like, all right. So maybe a week or so went past, and she say, babe, hey, I talked to Lisa. Remember my homegirl that wrote the book? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I told her that, the book was fire. I loved it. And she should think about turning this into a movie. And if you turn it into a movie, you should let my dude play Jai, the main character. And she like, for real? You think it's dope like that? And I'm like, yeah. She like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So whatever. So fast forward, maybe another one or two. My girl called me like, yo, Lisa just called and said that she saw you in Deceitful Passions, and she was like, she wants you to play Josh. She thinking about turning her book into a movie. She want to know if you would do it. So I was just like, yeah, I guess maybe. So she like, well, I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna give you a number. Y'all can call, whatever, work it out. Cause I don't know how y'all do that, but she open to it. So I'm like, all right. So I get on the phone with Lisa. Some days later, we talk, and we kind of going over things, and she's like, I want to do He Played Me as a movie, but I want to make it a YouTube series and put it on YouTube. This is what I'm saying. So remember, stay with me. This is
Oh wow.
2019.
Right.
This is, Tubi is out, but Tubi ain't hot yet. People still on Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime is kind of fizzling a little bit.
Right.
So she like, yeah, you gonna put it on, make it a YouTube series. So I kind of didn't want to do YouTube,
Right.
but at the same time, I was going to do it because I just was like, I think it'd be dope, and I was really doing this for my girl at the time. So we fast forward some more. So now we get into 2020. Pandemic hits us, and she calls me and she's like, "Yo, everything is kind of on pause. Like we don't know what the world gonna be. So everything was halted, and we all know why. So we move into the spring of 20. She calls me. She said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing the trailer for He Played Me. Are you comfortable with being around people? And are you okay with that? Because the mask and COVID and all this." And I'm like, "Yeah, we could do it." So we did it. It was just starting to get hot outside. Then I'm gonna give y'all another fun fact. Shelby Lee, who played Yasmin, my wife, and He Played Me. But before Shelby was on the scene, Crystal the
Right.
doll
Right. Yes,
was gonna play
my
Yasmin.
baby girl.
Crystal was supposed to play Yasmin. And if you think I'm lying, just go on YouTube right now if you can. Type in He Played Me one trailer. And if you see that trailer, Crystal is in that trailer because she's Yasmin. So you can go and look at that right
Oh
now and it'll
shit.
come up if
I
you want to
wouldn't.
fact check that. So moving forward, we go ahead, we shoot the trailer, we get it done with a couple of other people, and then that's it. So she put it out, she puts it out on YouTube. That's why it's still there to this day. And some time goes on, and for whatever reason, Crystal doesn't do the role. So now we are trying to find another Yasmin. So she's asking me about Shelby, and I'm like, well, I think Shelby can kill that. See what's up with it. So they make it happen. They bring in Shelby to replace Crystal. She's the new Yasmin, and we moving forward. So that's how He Played Me came to the forefront. Then we had a couple of auditions. The first audition we had, nobody really showed up. Then we had another audition. A lot of people came, and then the pieces just kind of started falling into place from there. So to give you the origination story of how it started, that's how it started. But I got a big up to my lady because she the one that connected Lisa to me and me to Lisa to make that happen in the first place. And then everything else is history, as you see. So that's how I got the role, and He Played Me. So I didn't have to audition. Really, Deceitful Passions was my audition for He Played Me. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So that's how that
Wow.
went. Yeah.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
The floor is open. Anybody else got any questions?
How
Yes,
does
I
it
got a
feel to
couple.
be Detroit's most filmed actor?
Hello.
Yes,
I know
facts.
So I'm
she got
sorry.
that award.
Say,
Empress.
say
Empress,
that
go ahead
again.
with your questions, Empress.
Thank you, Miss Solo. Good evening, Mr. Alfonso. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. I have some complex questions for you. If you're ready, let me know.
Go ahead. I'm ready. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so being recognized as Detroit's most streamed actor
Hmm.
and honored by the Detroit Filmmaker Awards is a significant milestone. How has this recognition impacted your career ambitions, and do you feel more connected to your local roots or driven towards a national or global stage even more? Let's talk about it.
Um, well, first of all, the recognition is amazing. Not only in my home city, but everywhere. Like when I'm out, cause I'm out of town a lot. When I'm in Atlanta, if I'm in Las Vegas, if I'm anywhere, people still recognize me, and that's dope. I think that's super dope, and I humbly uh, receive that every single time. Um, I think that it's not only locally for me, but it is on a national level because when you can go to a different state and they still know who you are, I think you on to something. Um, do I love my Detroit roots? Of course, home is home. It's the D where I'm from, born and raised. So I'm gonna always love home. But at the same time, I'm smart enough to know that in order for you to grow and get where you're trying to go, you gotta go to some degree. Even if it, and that's why I'm in and out, back and forth a lot. Because it's cool to get to work here, but I like to build relationships outside of my own home state, so I can call anybody anywhere and be able to work if need be. And I have no problem with catching a flight wherever I need to be. I spent half of the year gone just back and forth this year alone. I probably been home. We're going into we are in the 11th month of the year. If you tally everything up, I've probably been gone in totality a few months this year. That's how much I've been gone.
Period. Thank you so much for asking me that. I do have a few more questions for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. So, from thrillers like Chasing the Ghost to action-oriented projects, you've been a part of intense storylines
Hmm.
that demand a lot of physical and from you and
Hmm.
emotionally. So, could you share any particularly challenging role or moments from a set that you was like, you know what, it took everything from me for that scene to execute as a person and as an actor? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Won't he do it? I mentioned earlier that took a lot for me because I cried every single take on cue when it was needed. But when we were done, I felt depleted. That took a lot from me. There is also a scene. I don't know if you're familiar with Deceitful Passions. There's a scene in that film where my character Seth, he goes to jail, he gets out, but while he was in jail, his homeboy Vito is murdered, and he doesn't know. So when he comes home. Excuse me, Vito is murdered. He does know, but his friend Kitty is murdered. So Kitty runs his hair salon that he owns in the film. So he knows that Vito is dead. I mixed it up. So he's sad about that. But when he comes home, he doesn't know that Kitty is dead. And they tell him in his shop when he comes home. And she says to him, like, because my character says, hey, yeah, I know Vito family really gonna love that because they took up a collection offering. And then the girl looks at me and she says, Vito, no, Kitty. And I go, you can see the confusion. I'm like, Kitty dead? Kitty gone? And they like, yeah, we thought you knew. And I'm like, no, I ain't know. So I kind of lose it, and I'm cussing and I storm out. But in that scene, and they didn't catch it, I broke down and started crying in that scene. They just didn't catch it on camera. But if you go back and watch that scene, you could kind of hear the tremble in my voice. Like you can hear that I'm crying, but the angle that I was, and then I turned my back to the camera and stormed out, they don't really catch it. But that scene took a lot for me too. It took about maybe 3 days for me to bounce back from that because that was my first time on camera at that time. And we shot Deceitful Passions. I think that was 2017, and I was still a little bit newer to the game. That scene took a lot for me too. So those two scenes were kind of mentally exhausting to
Well,
do.
thank you, Mr. Alfonso. I have one last question for you. Then I'm gonna
Go ahead.
send it over to the stage to see if anyone else is ready to ask you some more questions. So,
Hmm.
let's talk about navigation and streaming platforms, right? So you work on the on project that gained traction in both independent festivals and digital streaming platforms like Tubi, right? So,
Hmm.
what differences do you notice in how audiences respond to your performances on these platforms compared to more traditional theatric releases? And how has this influenced, I guess, like how you take to your roles or what roles you prefer to do? Or is there any type of difference or not? Thank you.
Give me the first half of that
I
question one
talked too
more
fast.
time.
I'll calm down. Sorry. I apologize. Hold on. What the- Okay. You've worked on projects that have gained traction in both independent film festivals,
Hmm.
and digital streaming platforms. So, what
Yes.
differences do you notice in how the audience respond to you, between the different, between theatrical roles or the more the digital roles, like more what's the
Okay.
difference? Like, that's what I was asking. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, I got you. I got you. So, film festivals are cool, but that's kind of a different. Film festivals are more so if they are looking for distribution for films, or maybe they are looking to push their film to a different platform other than Tubi. So they go the film festival route. Um, so people like that, but a lot of people don't really see that because if you're at a festival, the only people that are going to see that project is the people that attended it. When a film hits a platform like a Tubi or Amazon Prime or Peacock, it's seen on a national level and more people see it. So there's going to be a bigger response and a bigger reaction. Like right now, Peacock is a hot platform, but Peacock costs, whereas Tubi doesn't cost. So free works for everybody. So they are going to be more in tune or inclined to watch a film for free than they will for a film that is on a platform that they must pay for, if that makes sense. So the reactions are heavily garnered towards the digital platforms because that's what everybody sees. They don't really see it when it's in the film festival, and they don't really see it on platforms that cost, if that makes sense.
Oh, of course. I definitely appreciate that question. I had one more, but I don't want to be greedy. So I definitely will be back in a few moments when other people get to ask you some questions. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem. You're welcome.
So I had one quick question. I always like to ask this particular question when it
Hmm.
comes to interviews like this is what is your like do spirituality play a big part in your life? And also what does that look like for your mental health? Like what how do you combat things like that? Because you did mention that that was that situation where you cried, whatever, and it kind of just clicked. Like, okay, let me just open it up and see where you are with that. What would you like people to know about you and your spirituality and mental health?
Spiritually, I'm in tune with myself. Um, I know that when I'm doing certain roles that is going to be perceived a certain way. I just kind of don't care because you got to have thick skin. At the end of the day, it's just acting. There are certain things that I will not do, um, as an actor, but a lot of things that I do or you have seen me in are triggering. Um, and I like that because if it's triggering and it's making you feel a certain kind of way, then what I feel I'm doing as an actor is bringing a real life scenario to you. So it's like I just use he played me again. I was an abusive guy emotionally and physically and verbally. So that's a real thing. People get mentally and physically and verbally abused all the time. So for me to shine light on that in the character that I portrayed, I had a lot of women tell me that they like guys like that, or they have dated guys like that, or seeing that film hate help them get away from guys like that. So I look at it for the positive things. But I knew, once I read the book and got familiar with the script, I knew that that film was going to have me viewed in a certain light. And I just didn't care. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to feel a way. If you didn't, then I failed as an actor. So spiritually, when it comes to things like that, that's what I think about. And there are certain things that I will not do as an actor. But if I can bring a character however I can bring it to make you feel it, that's what I care about. Hmm.
That's
Oh
what's up.
wow. Oh yeah, I got a
Yeah,
question.
because I was just wondering about that because it's a lot going on with this the acting and stuff like that that can really impact your mental health if you're not really self aware of yourself. So that's a
This is
question that
very true.
that's
This
a
is
question I
very,
always
very
like to
true.
ask to kind of see where the actors or the actresses is at with that. So thank you, I appreciate that.
No, you're welcome. You definitely gotta have. You heard this before. You gotta have super thick skin. You know, this industry is cutthroat, and they can cut you from a lot of different ways. So you just gotta really be on your stuff and be strong willed and just have thick skin. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
I got a well, I got three questions, but I'll ask them in tandem here. So, first question: how did you get through the strike, and how did that affect the way that you audition, the way that you act afterward? Were you represented at the time, and did you do any kind of independent films during the strike?
Yeah, I did. And that was really what kept me going because I'm not SAG, not yet. I'm going to be, but I'm not SAG, and because I'm not SAG, I'm not in the union, so I was able to still work and do indie film. Had I been a SAG actor, then I would not have been able to work, and then we would probably be having a different conversation. But I was able to work through the strike, and just keep doing the indie stuff, and it was all good. I mean, it was a struggle because even though I wasn't directly affected by it, I kind of was because really, literally, right before they striked, I was about to get my SAG card. So when they didn't, I was just kind of like, ooh, you know. And then a lot of my friends that are SAG were telling me like, bro, you might want to hold off because we can't do X, Y, and Z. You can't even do. I think they couldn't even do interviews talking about their projects. If they did interviews, they couldn't mention the project that they were a part of. That's how tight
Locally
it was.
microaggression, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So did the strike affect me? Not really, a little bit, but I didn't feel it the way that my SAG actors felt it. I'll just say that.
Second follow-up question to
But
that
it
one
was,
is, are you
yeah. Go
finding
ahead.
a lot of work in Detroit and in the area, or have you had to go out to like Atlanta and everywhere else
Oh
to find
yeah,
it? 'Cause doing
I didn't been
this,
everywhere. I've been in Atlanta a lot this year. I was in Vegas this year. I was in Alabama, uh, New York. I've been all over the map this year, so it's been blessed. I've been blessed. I've been in and out of town a lot this year and last year.
cool. And third question. So if you
Hmm.
check out, I think there's one other Hillary Merrick, but I'm the only one that works at Tubi. If you check out my LinkedIn right now, I just posted a couple of auditions that we got coming up. Are you represented, and how can we get a demo from you, a demo reel from you? Do you have it posted? Or bigger question, are you on
Do
Backstage? Let's make it easy.
I am on Actors Access. I am not on Backstage. I am on Actors Access. I do have AA. But yeah, we can make that happen. Just send me a message, and we can talk about that.
That's what's up. We're casting right now for a King B production called Mental, and it's going to be filmed in several different big cities, so it might be able to actually come to you. But I've got listings every day up on my Twitter or X, whatever you call it. So because I work with part of the casting and with Tubi, so yeah, I'd love to hook you up.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Let's try to make that work before we get off of here.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
All right, I got a question from Alfonso. Is
Mhm.
what's your favorite film or movie out of all the films you did? And the other question was, can you share a funny behind the scenes from one of the movies that you liked?
Um, yeah, I can. So, favorite movie he played me was my favorite. I also enjoyed Chasing the Ghost was good. Um, man, I've been blessed to do so many. I'm drawing a blank. I feel like it's one more, but he played me in Chasing the Ghost. I enjoyed doing both of those. Um, funny, funny behind the scene. It's been a couple of them. But I'll give you a behind the scenes that really kind of wasn't funny. So I don't know if you guys saw Nasty. So I played this character in Nasty called Uncle Rob. It's on Tubi as well.
Oh yeah, I
And
did see that. I did see that. Yup, yup, yup.
right, so you remember I was Uncle Rob
Right.
and Nasty. So there's a scene in that where they got me tied up in the basement and they're pistol whipping me, which eventually they kill me. But in this scene, they're pistol whipping me, and I went out like a G. But in real life, and mind you, we didn't rehearse this movie, we didn't rehearse this scene, we didn't went through it, we didn't went through it. And give me one second. Okay, sorry about that. So we had a we rehearsed this scene multiple times, and in the movie they got me tied up. He's pistol whipping me, and he accidentally hit me for real across my temple. And let me just say
Oh
this:
wow.
in the movie, like I gotta say shout out to Candace. That's my home girl. She's the makeup artist. I always be like shout out to the MUA, to the makeup artist because she's really dope at what she does with the graphics and the effects. But she made me look real. Put the cut on my cheek, and I was bleeding and bruised and battered. Like I look really pistol whipped. Like she did a good job. So the prosthetic that's on my cheek where he hits me, well, excuse me, not my cheek, but my temple. It was on my left temple. He hits me in the prosthetic hard. I'm talking about all I saw was a flash of light, and I wasn't really tied up. So when he did it, I obviously I pulled my hands from behind me and I grabbed my head. As soon as he did it, he realized it. He was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, Fonz, my bad." And I was just dazed and stunned. I'm talking about I saw stars, Tweety birds around my head,
Man,
and
how funny.
it was bad. So he felt bad. He started crying. The guy who did it, he cried in real life. They ended up calling the producer who was offset at the time. He came back, and it was just this big thing. And at the end of the day, I was okay. I had a concussion, but I had to go to the hospital. So I immediately left set, and they ended up getting a different scene while I was gone. They had the PA take me to the hospital. I was in there for probably 4 hours, maybe. It's a long wait. But when they brought me in, it was a waiting room full of people, and I still got on the prosthetic and all the makeup that I left set with.
That is
So
so
when they saw me, everybody was just sinking down in their chairs and they were staring, trying not to stare, but they were staring at me. And nobody said anything, but everybody had the "what the fuck happened to you" look. So I go to the back and I'm waiting for the doctor, and he walks in the room, and the doctors, they got to be professional. They can't really react. But I saw it in his eyes, like, oh shit, when he walked in, I saw it and I felt it. So as soon as he said that, I say, listen, it's a prosthetic, it's makeup. And when I said that, he was like, oh, okay. I didn't like. What do you what So I had to like listen. I'm an actor. I was on set. This is what we were doing, and so when they peeled everything back, I had a small little knot. I was concussed. Told me to go home. Fuck that. I went right back to set, finished out that scene, and then went home and was done for the day.
Thank you for that story.
Yeah,
Wow, man.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
rewatch that movie.
Yeah.
it's
So
like
and
what
I think
the
they catch
hell?
it. I think they catch it. Then they cut away. But I think that last blow, he actually hit me and
Wow.
hard. I'm so glad he didn't hit me in my mouth because I'd have lost a couple teeth.
Dang.
Yeah, they said that stuff really happened. They said that Cameron really had hit that dude on Paid in Full. That's why he was
Yeah,
bleeding like that.
yeah, I heard
Wow.
that too. Like it happens, but man, we professionals, so if we can, we try to stay in character and get through that scene because sometimes, man, them be the best takes.
Yeah. Like, do
Yeah,
you ever get nervous when you're doing those scenes? Like, cause you see what
Right. That's a
happened
good
with
question.
that. Like, damn, what's his name? It was that white dude. His last name Baldwin.
the ball when he killed the guy on set.
Yeah,
Um,
he's
I
supposed to
don't
be
get
shooting blanks.
Yeah, I don't get nervous, but we do when we are dealing with props because obviously, you've seen me with a million guns on set. We have a person that comes in and can I get quiet on set? Everybody gather around and hey, this kind of gun. It's not real, or it is real, but it's not loaded. There's nothing in the chamber. Like they go through, and we have a very in depth breakdown of the prop that we're going to be using, so that everybody's comfortable and everybody sees with their own two eyes that nothing is in the chamber. nothing's in the clip, and we're gonna do this, and then once it's done, you give it back to me. Goes from my hand to yours, from your hands to mine. Nobody else pick it up. Don't set it down because when you have it in your possession, you're responsible for it until we're done, and then you give it back. And since that Baldwin incident, we've gotten really strict and thorough on set when dealing with prop guns because we don't ever want anything like that to happen to anybody else. It was unfortunate that it happened with Alec Baldwin and a few other stars too, but
Yeah, that was
I think
messed
that was
up.
the most recent one. And I don't ever want to be on the receiving or giving end of a gunshot or actually accidentally shooting somebody. So
I'm
we
trying to
very,
figure
very
out how
thorough.
a real bullet got in that gun.
I said the same thing. So I don't know, and I don't want to put no theories out there, but I wondered the same thing.
Well, it didn't magically appear. I don't have to put no.
Yeah,
it didn't
like
just.
Brandon Lee,
It
Bruce
ain't
Lee
show.
story
It
died the
ain't
same
show
way.
up out of nowhere. Like it's like, come on now. Like they gotta be joking. I
Yeah.
don't. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That didn't
Hmm.
just appear nowhere. It ain't like poof. It was there. Somebody. Whatever. I'm just gonna let him play. But no, I appreciate your response. It's kind of very interesting to hear your thoughts about like just the parts that you played. But I guarantee you, like, and maybe I'll say it like this: it probably made you play that part even better being hit. Like, is that true?
No, because once